Hi there, thanks for tuning in. I want to talk with you a little bit about, you know, weight loss, being overweight, emotional eating, and the habit of doing that. Binge eating, overeating, and of course, when you binge eat, you overeat, you're going to get fat. It's as simple as that. So, what you got to learn to understand, and I'm going to ask you to really step up to the plate, not to just listen in and go like, oh, okay. I want you to really actively absorb my words, understand them, because you are a human being, no different than me. And you understand what I'm saying, and I'm saying to you that life is a mind game with yourself. You're in constant competition with yourself to become better today than you were yesterday. That's your game, constantly. Now, you can say like, yeah, that sounds really good, but there are no buts, because you have to look for ways to improve yourself. What is it that you don't like about yourself, or what you think you may be able to improve? You can do more. You've got to stretch yourself. And so right now we're talking about the challenge of too many pounds on your body. So the first question I'm going to ask you is, I want you to close your eyes for a moment and just imagine, think about what your life is going to be like in 5 years from now. Or 3 years from now. Let's do 3 years. That's ample. What is your life going to be like in 3 years from now? Are you going to be equally fat as you are now? Equally overweight or obese? Are you still doing the same kind of habit of whenever it triggers you, urges you to run to the refrigerator or to the supermarket and get the food that make you feel comfortable, like ice cream, or if you're into the macaroni and cheese, or anything like that, anything to stuff your face with. I want you to look at that you're still doing that, and then look at 3 years from now, and you're still doing that. Do you really think that you are a responsible human being when it comes to your health? And you can cough up as many excuses as you like. For me, it doesn't hold any water. Excuse me, if you're really real with yourself, it doesn't hold any water with you either, because what you're doing, the emotional eating, the overeating, the binging, is just simply suppressing emotions that you are not dealing with. And most of the emotions come from the boredom and from trauma from your childhood. And the trauma from your childhood adds into boredom, because it is an emotional package, a mumbo jumbo, or soup that keeps bubbling in the background and keeps you paralyzed, stuck in your life. You have to come to terms with that, meaning you have to deal with those emotions from your childhood and look at your current emotions, your current emotional boredom that shows itself in overeating, binge eating, those kind of things, not being able to stop eating. When you're at work, perhaps you're fine, but the moment you come home and you don't really know what to do with yourself, that's a very easy escape, and that is triggered by the prefrontal cortex. I'm not going to go into the details of the animal mindset and the human mindset. Oops, I'm sorry. But it's a pattern that you've made your own, and you've got to interrupt that pattern. One way to interrupt the pattern, and just keep your eyes closed. Just look at your favorite food, whatever it is, ice cream, or a pizza, or a box full of muffins or donuts or Twinkies, and then just imagine your dog in the house, or the cat in your house comes by, or even little toddler comes by and pukes, throws up all over that. all over your favorite food. How does your food look then? Appetizing or not? I want you to create that picture over and over and over and over in your head so that you don't feel the urge to binge on that kind of food. You have to interrupt the pattern for yourself, because if you don't interrupt the pattern, how are you going to look like in 3 years? Just consider the things that you have missed out on, that you have lost, the pain you have suffered from being fat, overweight. Just picture all the scenes that you were not able to dance. You didn't want to put on a swimming suit, let alone go skinny dip with a friend or two in the ocean. You missed out on that. The shame you have later in the evening when you have finished the tub of ice cream and the pizza and the bags of potato chips, feel the shame, the guilt that you just created for yourself. How do you deal with that? That only adds on to the already negative picture of yourself. And you can interrupt that. You can stop that. Just imagine your dog constantly puking on your favorite food. And you're not going to eat it. You're going to say like, okay, that's not working. Let me just have some fresh fruit, or let me have something else that's healthier, because you've got to break the habit of eating that horrible food that makes you fat, that you can't stop eating, and replacing it with, okay, I'm gonna have some healthy food, and I'm gonna do something useful. Read a book, call a friend and have a meaningful conversation, not just a conversation about fluff and the politics or whatever. Have a meaningful conversation. Enjoy the conversation. You have to interrupt that boredom pattern. Take a walk, go for a swim. Anything that you do with yourself interrupts the emotions of your body. Vitally important. And then do that over and over again on a daily basis. Condition yourself. You have to condition yourself. That is rewiring new neurons, neural pathways in your brain. You have to do that over again. Tomorrow, the day after, do it over and over again. You have to interrupt that emotional pattern. You got to entertain the brain by doing something that you in the beginning may not really love, but you get to like it and you get to love it. And it's distracting you from boredom and sitting and eating and doing nothing. Because show me somebody who is actively doing something and has time to binge eat. I don't know anybody. So just get into awareness first. With your eyes closed. Envision yourself as you would love to be in 3 years' time. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. So envision yourself. What would you like to look like? What would you like to do? What kind of friends do you have around you? Are you traveling? Are you going sailing somewhere with friends, or water skiing, or whatever you're doing, and you're wearing a sexy outfit, a bikini or swim trunks or whatever? Or you're going hiking with some friends and you just lead the way because you're energized, you're fit, you're slim, you're strong, your muscles are flexing. What would you like to be? How would you like to look? Imagine it, because Einstein said that imagination is more important than knowledge. It's the truth. If you can imagine it, you make it work, but you have to imagine it every single day. Throughout the day, think about just, if you see a picture, just put it on the wall where you can see it. You have to interrupt the pattern, and nobody can do that for you. Only you can do it. You created yourself. You created a habit out of an emotional need that was not met in your childhood. And that is something pretty hard to discover, and I can help you with that because you truly need a therapist to do that with you, to facilitate that with you. And I would take you into hypnosis and I would have you go back to that event and deal with it for once and for all. Deal with the emotion of that childhood trauma, but you're still stuck with it now, and you can start to prep it. You can start to prep the changes within you already for a large part. How would you like to be in 3 years' time? What are you saying to yourself? What do you hear others saying to you? What do you hear your close friends saying to you? What are you doing? Where are you? How do you feel? Most important, how do you feel about yourself? Vital, because you know what? You're nothing but feelings. You're nothing but emotions, energy in motion. So keep it moving. Keep it moving. Don't vloomp at home after work, after school, after college, and just fall into the abyss of boredom. Watching television, doing nothing. There are so many things that you can do. There must be at least one thing you're interested in. At least one thing. And you have a cell phone, or you're watching me on your cell phone, your laptop, or your desktop. You can Google that, what is of interest to you. And that keeps you energized and it keeps you busy. And when you do those kind of activities, you're not bored. You're excited about learning new things and digging deeper, and you don't feel the need to stuff your face. Mindless stuffing your face despite the fact that you are not hungry. Emotional eating is based on boredom and in childhood trauma. So, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. You know the disclaimer, everything I have learned is from my wonderful mentors. I just put it in the blender, put my sauce over it, and that is what I'm serving to you. If you'd like to contact me, you can contact me via the Gmail. It's in the YouTube. You see it there. Otherwise, you can always contact me through Messenger on Facebook. And remember, if you like it, press the like button and subscribe if you haven't yet. Pass it on to somebody who you think could benefit from my content. And if you don't like it, that's okay as well. I love you all the same, and I appreciate you listening in. Till next time, take care.